This episode is on what if Eric Lindros never refused to play for the Quebec Nordiques. As we all know, heading into the 1991 NHL entry draft, Eric Lindros was the best prospect coming out of juniors since Mario Lemieux. He had lit up juniors and was deemed a franchise-changing player. There were some members of the media that dubbed him the next one. Because of this, Lindros had all the power in the world, and he refused to play for a struggling Quebec Nordiques franchise. Not only did Lindros refuse to play for the Nordiques, when he got drafted by them, he refused to put the jersey on. He just took the jersey and draped it over his arm. What's more disrespectful than that? Subsequently, the Quebec Nordiques traded Eric Lindros to the Philadelphia Flyers in exchange for Peter Forsberg, Ron Hextall, Steve Duchesne, Mike Ricci, Kerry Hoffman, a 1993 first-round pick, future considerations, and $15 million. The real winner of this trade was the Colorado Avalanche. Forsberg turned into a huge piece of Colorado Avalanche's success. He formed a core piece of the dynasty Colorado Avalanche that ended up winning 2 cups. After all was said and done, Peter Forsberg alone may be worth more than Eric Lindros. Because of the way he forced a trade to Philadelphia, he was labeled a villain, and that is not a good way to start off your NHL career. What if Eric Lindros could do everything all over again? What if he didn't refuse to play for the Quebec Nordiques in the first place? What would happen? How would it affect Eric Lindros' career? How would it affect the Quebec Nordiques? How would it affect the Philadelphia Flyers? Eric Lindros had stayed with the Quebec Nordiques. They would not have relocated to Colorado. Let's get that clear. Because Eric Lindros was box office at the beginning of his career. Philadelphia Flyers sold out of their season tickets the day they got Lindros. They would have also had a very solid core of the team with Sakic, Lindros, Owen Nolan, and Matt Sundin. With this core of the team, they could have become a legit contender in the NHL. Eric Lindros staying with the Quebec Nordiques means that Peter Forsberg stays with the Philadelphia Flyers. Peter Forsberg did not come into the NHL until 1994, so that means the Philadelphia Flyers would have a few bad years without Eric Lindros. That would mean that the Flyers would get top picks in 92 and 93. Even if Eric Lindros had stayed in Quebec, Quebec may not be able to afford to keep him because they have a lot of expensive core players they need to re-sign. Because of this, Lindros would eventually request a trade. Requesting a trade after you have actually played games for a team is way better than requesting a trade before you ever even played a single NHL game. If Eric Lindros had stayed with the Quebec Nordiques, perhaps they would have kept their team. Unfortunately for both Eric Lindros and the Quebec Nordiques, this story ends on a bitter note. Quebec had to watch their team get relocated to Colorado and achieve monumental success, winning 2 Stanley Cups. Eric Lindros' career was decimated by concussion issues and never lived up to the hype he came into the NHL with. This just goes to show you how one decision can change the fate and impact the league entirely. Next episode, I will be talking about a trade that almost happened. Paul Ranger for Claude Giroux.